Toronto Blue Jays have a serious problem. As following sweeping the Washington Nationals, the Jays come out and get swept by the Mets. But something that matters more is one big problem that this Toronto Blue Jays team has. I'm going to break down exactly what that problem is and discuss what it means going forward, as well as break down some more questionable decisions by John Schneider ahead of what's going to be a crucial series against the Boston Red Sox. But before we get into it, folks, if you're part of the percentage who are not subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. If you want to help us towards our big goal of 20,000 subscribers, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, baseball is back, and we are getting our hearts ripped out already. The Jays are coming off of 2 straight losses that were really bad, especially yesterday's a horrible loss. You come out today, and the offense completely craps the bed once again. Let's dive right into it. Folks, there's a lot to go over today, and I want to start with the pitching a little bit, and we'll dive into the big problem. Bowden Francis had a fantastic game today. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs. The bullpen was not a problem. Chad Green had a great game. Brendan Little had a great game. The pitching was absolutely fantastic, which it has been for most of the season at times. Like, obviously, the bullpen, it's very hit or miss. I'm not going to say most of the season, but there's been games with the bullpen and the starting pitching has been great, games where they're bad. But what matters today, ladies and gentlemen, is the hitting. Now, this is a serious problem for the Toronto Blue Jays. Look at this box score. The top 4 hitters in the Toronto Blue Jays lineup combined for a grand total of 0 hits. Not a single hit for Bo, Vladdy, Santander, and Andres Jimenez. Kirk had a couple knocks. You have Heineman, Miles Straw. This team is in serious trouble if they're going to continue to hit this way, because not only are they not hitting home runs, which they haven't done at all this year, they are not getting hits with runners in scoring position. Coming into this game, the Toronto Blue Jays were one of the worst in the league in men left on base. Boy, oh boy, did they contribute to that clause today, leaving a ton of runners on base. I'm going to dive into some John Schneider stuff a little bit later, but man, oh man, is this just a disastrous series for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Vladdy looks not great. Bichette hasn't looked, fantastic, not bad. I'm not too worried about Bo. Santander's looked awful, a couple walks today. Jimenez, he's looked solid as a whole, but this top 4 has not hit the baseball. And when you go with runners in scoring position, no one can hit the ball. Davis Schneider has looked absolutely horrible. He has no hits in his games. Alan Roden looks very solid. Tyler Heineman's fine. Miles Straw's fine. No one can hit the baseball. And we're going to dive into a few different things here. But you can see this here. I want to start with Davis Schneider. The fact is, it might just be time to send him down. Now, obviously, we're only 10 games into the season, but man, oh man, having him in the lineup. I mean, you look at this lineup. After Alejandro Kirk, and maybe even including Alejandro Kirk, depending on what your thoughts are on him, there's a lot of holes in the lineup. Like, your hitters, of course, with George Springer out, you have Clement, who hasn't been hitting well at all this season. Schneider, who's been a complete hole. Tyler Heineman, I mean, he's not going to be known for hitting, which is fine. And then Miles Straw has been, off to a decent start. But there's so many holes in this lineup right now. This is something that a lot of us know and said and clamored for it all offseason and spoke about all offseason, is fixing the hole in the lineup. Santander is supposed to provide some power. He's a notorious slow starter. Vladdy, also a notorious slow starter. But man, oh man, it comes to a point now where it's just getting out of hand. And you can see with Davis Schneider, you can see here the hard truth is Davis Schneider's struggled against lefties last season, 160 average. He has not been good in a very long time. And obviously, he had the big start to his year last year in his rookie year. But other than that, he has not, or the year before last year, starting his rookie year, he has not been good. It's as simple as that. He just hasn't been good. And you can see this here. We can't keep throwing Davis out there. You can take a walk here and there, but the dude cannot hit major league pitching. This is a large enough sample size. It's the unfortunate reality. We all love Babe Schneider. He's a fantastic player, or a fantastic person, sorry, by all accounts. He's not a fantastic player, though, anymore. He hasn't been able to hit major league pitching. He can't hit fastballs. And it is the unfortunate reality of the situation, is we're at a point now where the Toronto Blue Jays offense is bad. Ernie Clement can't hit. David Schneider can't hit. All these guys can't hit. And when they do get runners on, they're getting runners on at a pretty good clip multiple times this game and over the past few games in the series. Man on first and second, man on second and third, all these different things. They're unable to get a clutch hit. We saw it today. Bases loaded. Alejandro Kirk grounds out. It's at the point now where it's like, or pops out, sorry. It's at the point now where you're just in a rough spot, and this team needs to figure it out. And do I think they will? Absolutely. I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet. No one really in the AL, aside from the Yankees, are winning games. That's one silver lining here, and the Yankees have had a very easy schedule, including against the Pirates. But he has 39 hits in his last 284 plate appearances. He just hasn't been good, and I think it's time to give someone else a shot in there. But at the same time, you have to put some accountability on the top guys. Bo, Vladdy, and Santander combined for one extra base hit, a Bichette double in the 3-game series. They had one extra base hit in the 3-game series. They scored 3 runs total in the series. It's an unbelievable stat. It's a jaw-dropping stat here. Vladdy and Santander didn't get a single extra base hit. They barely got hits. You have Bo Bichette with the one double. The team is in serious trouble. And you look at it here, they finished the series going 2 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Very small sample size, but this offense either needs to flip that script or start hitting balls out. if the team can hit home runs, they're going to have to go out and get extra base hits with runners in scoring position. If they can't get that, you're going to be putting up multiple series with 3 runs in the entire series. And the Jays are in a very interesting spot. It does not get any easier for this team. You're going up against the Red Sox, and then you go up against the Orioles again. You have to at least split these series. And the way that this offense has been playing, it hasn't been good whatsoever, right? And we know that today, in today's game in particular, and I'm obviously not, recapping this game as much because it was just a bad game. There were some decent, plays. There were some decent hits. Tyler Heineman, had a good hit. I think he actually had a double in this game. So it was very, very interesting. And again, Tyler Heineman, yeah, he did. Tyler Heineman had a double in this game, but none of the top 3 guys had an extra base hit besides Bichette. Like, it's at a point now where you're just heading into this series, you sweep the Nationals, you're 5-2, you're top the AL East. Vibes were fantastic. And then you come back out and you get swept by the Mets. It has been an up and down season. You had to win at least one of these. They should have won the game yesterday. And John Schneider was one of the reasons, both the Schneiders, but John Schneider, I want to point this out. John Schneider, in the clutch, hit Nathan Lucas, pinch hit, instead of Will Wagner. And in case you don't know, folks, Will Wagner, in his first 30 games, the Blue Jay, put up an 806 OPS with 133 WRC plus a 0.8 F4. He's a fantastic baseball player. And that was, of course, coming into this season, or this series, And you're at a time in the season where you desperately need a base hit. Like, you need a hit. You're at the point in the season, you're at the point in the series, you're at a point in the game where you need a hit. You pinch hit Nathan Lucas instead of Will Wagner, which makes absolutely no sense. And you're coming off of a game where John Schneider, he had some poor decisions out of the bullpen yesterday. And I think fans have just, again, I'm not ready to hit the panic button, to pull the panic lever, or anything like that. I think at this point, this was a game where I deemed the Jays Digest must-win game, which has now been transformed into tomorrow as a must-win game. But regardless, we'll go over that tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Like, man, oh man, the Jays, it was such a punch to the gut, and that's baseball, right? Baseball is unforgiving. It is absolutely heart-crushing, heart-wrenching, all these different things. You're coming off of a game yesterday. You look at the box score, like the bullpen that John Schneider put out there, very questionable decisions. Come out today, the bullpen held it down. The starting pitching staff held it down. You hold the Mets to 2 runs in today's game, and then yesterday, Chris Bassett held them to a grand total of 0 runs until the bullpen came in. Just a devastating loss today, a more devastating loss yesterday. The team needs to figure it out. The offense is in serious trouble. And if the top of the lineup doesn't figure it out, which they will, I do believe they will. They're going to figure it out. They're 5-5. That's why you sweep the bad teams like the Washington Nationals, that you can come out and actually take care of business. And if you have a bad series against one of the better teams, you figure it out. I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet, but the offense needs to figure it out. And maybe you start looking now towards some of the guys in AAA to come up and give some, spark to this offense, because it has not been good. It is very early in the year, but ultimately it'll figure it out. We're hearing rumblings about the Vladdy situation, the contract extension, and him grounding out to end the game, breaking his bat is didn't help a ton either with towards those contract negotiations. The sentiment among fans regarding that. So it's going to be a wild next few days. It was an extension looming for Vladdy. The Jays lose again. We'll be back for you guys in tomorrow's video. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to baseball, and it's going to be a long, long season. Hopefully the Jays can take care of business tomorrow. Cheers.